Let me live that fantasy.
8:10 on Channel 95.7. An hour and 20 minutes from now, we're going to get you qualified second to last time with us.
Yes.
For Daughtry, the cruise in the Bahamas.
Sixth to last time overall.
Yes, it
you
is.
have today at 9:30, then at 12:30 and 3:30. Tomorrow at 9:30, 12:30, and 3:30. And then Monday morning, we call a name. If it's yours, you call us back within 5 minutes. You win thanks to RCA Records. It's that easy.
Did you see the story yesterday on the news about that adult lingerie shop that's going to be opening next to Granville High School?
I did see that.
Did you read through the comments on Facebook?
I did not. I only saw, they said, coming up next on the news, and then I got busy doing something else. So it was showing the shop, and I have not seen anything else about it.
It's called Nice and Naughty. It's going to open in the next few months on Wilson Avenue, just adjacent to the entrance of the high school. A lot of parents very angry that this store is going to be opening there. And by the comments on Facebook, it was maybe 50-50.
Okay.
There are people who were the parents who were very angry.
Okay.
Think it's inappropriate. The store is saying, hey, you have to be 18 or older to get in.
Yeah, absolutely. No one's coming in this store who is in high school.
It's an upscale lingerie and bachelorette store.
Which I love.
That's what they say. And they're not going to put like racy window displays up, they said.
Okay.
But then there was the other side of the debate saying, give me a break. Ride a school bus with your 5-year-old and you'll hear worse things than you'll ever see in a store like that.
Well, that's
Those
true.
types of arguments were going on.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting, but I wanted to see what you thought about it as a father of girls.
I think I'm totally fine with it.
Are you?
I had a buddy who went to a school that was literally across the street. This is an elementary school from a gentleman's club.
Wow.
Literally across the street.
Okay.
And the school was obviously there first, and the club had been a bar, and then new ownership came in, and we would all laugh because, did you really go to school? Because he would say, I went to that school.
Right.
And we're like, what? Crazy.
Right.
So then talking to his parents about like what was going on, it was such a non-issue because they very clearly were like, no fourth grader is ever going to see anything that happens in there.
Right.
It was a bar before, and people were fine with that. It's the same as a store, right? I mean, the same thing. No third grader is going to see what's in that store, ever, until they're in college.
Right.
Right? Or until they get the internet.
I would fall on the side where I agree with you.
Yeah, nice.
I would fall on that side.
High five. Now, Amanda, you're a prude in your everyday life. I can't imagine if you have this store that your kid has to see every day, that you'd be too happy about it.
I don't know. As long as they're not doing anything crazy in the windows, like Connie said that they said that they weren't going to, and I mean, clearly no little kid's just gonna be able to walk in there. You know, like if you're a parent going to pick up your child or your child's riding the bus, then they shouldn't even have time to be able to walk over there anyway.
Right.
So,
and I think the clientele is what scares people away from that, right? Because you're thinking, oh, I don't want some hussy, or I don't want some sleazy guy going and hanging around the school now. It gives people a reason to come to that area.
They're saying that it's a retail store. They sell lingerie, will sell lingerie, lotions, fragrances. They do have some sexual items that'll be in there, but not very, that's not what the store is.
Okay.
Is what they're saying.
I mean, it's naughty and nice.
Right.
Right? So there will be
it's
a
little bit of both.
There'll be a naughty room.
Right.
Absolutely. We've all been in stores like that. I mean, that's kind of what keeps America great. So the fact that it's so close to a school, and which school is it?
Granville High School.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. You're 15, 16, 17. You know what's going on in there.
Right.
Not an issue.
Right.
Not an issue.
Well, don't you
Next
think
question.
that since it's going to be right by the high school, they're going to be even more careful about making sure
Absolutely.
they're checking IDs when people come in? And since it's become an issue like this, don't you think they'll even be more careful?
Well, and do you need... So where they say that they're not letting people in who aren't 18...
18 or older.
So what does that mean?
So 17 and under, no.
But they're going to have someone at the door, or they're going to not sell to those people?
No, they said they can't even come in.
So it's locked. I mean,
Yeah.
you post a sign, you say I can't 18, and then same thing on the website. So you
And
18?
probably
Click yes.
if I'm sure that if somebody comes in and there's a question about how old they are, I'm sure
absolutely.
they'll ask them for ID.
But if you are 15 and you look like you're a 25-year-old and you shaved the morning and then you had to shave again at lunch because you were more manly than anyone we've ever met.
Any teacher you've ever had.
Exactly. You're getting in there, right? Like we had one kid in 10th grade. He was a man.
Right.
He could do anything he
always that
wanted.
kid.
He could do whatever he wanted.
Connie and Curtis, who is this?
Hi, this is Sarah.
Sarah, good morning. Are you calling to talk about the adult lingerie and novelty shop?
I am. I actually just drove past it. I live right nearby.
Okay.
And pass it every day on my way to work. But for me, the biggest thing, it just looks trashy. I mean, I understand that there's maybe a need or a want for those types of stores, and maybe it's just because they have the jankety poster type sign up right now. But it just, I don't know, right there on the corner. And I understand like Spencer's sells things like that in the mall, but it's not advertised as that type of store. So for me, and I'm only 29, and so I'm still going to bachelorette parties and doing this type of
Right.
thing. But
Okay.
it just kind of looks trashy to me
Okay.
for that part of town, I think.
Okay. And that's
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. So,
No.
but that's a different story. I mean, you want it to look nice. You want it to match the neighborhood.
Well, and Sarah, is it in an existing building? Like the building was there already and they're just putting the store in?
It's a strip mall, and so
Okay.
it's like right next to a nail place
Okay.
and the Jude's haircut place or whatever.
Yep.
But it's right on the corner, so the entryway to the high school, I mean, it's right there. Like, yeah, the buses are going to be passing it every day. But again, they are high schoolers. It's not like they're not aware of.
Right.
So would
those
you be
types
would you be okay with the concept of it being there if it were dressed up a little bit more and looked nicer?
I don't know. I mean, I just, when I drove by it and saw it for the first time, I'm like, oh, are you serious? Like, is that something we really need in town? I don't know.
I
Okay.
can't believe that there hasn't been some sort of giant meeting about this because what's the Tanger outlet that's going in?
Yeah.
Oh man, there are huge meetings about that. People didn't want that there either.
Well, and there probably were these meetings.
Was there a meeting?
Probably. People
Okay.
went. Like, that's when a Hooters opens up. And then
Right.
suddenly they're like, no, we don't want Hooters. And I'm like, okay, well, Hooters isn't coming to town anymore.
Right.
It's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Right.
Same kind of thing. That Spencer's, though, that you brought up, Haley and I were in Spencer's the other day, and she walked just right into the adult area, and two of the staff immediately kicked her out of there. Like, you can't be in here. So
See, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even
that's
know.
good.
I didn't know until I was reading through the Facebook comments about this Granville thing that Spencer's had an adult area.
you don't go into Spencer's.
No. Well, no, I've gone into Spencer's. I didn't know that there was an adult
Okay.
area.
Yeah.
I was in Spencer's last Halloween.
Okay, so you don't go into the
No,
back.
I didn't know there was a back.
Okay, so I walk into the back, and she's coming with me.
Okay.
And immediately the guy was like, nope, she can't go back there. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. So they probably will do the same thing at this Naughty or Nice
Probably.
lingerie store.
Thanks for being our eyes, Sarah. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Okay, have a great day.
where you walk in, and then they're like, nope, you can't come in here. Get out of here.
Hi, Bill.
Good morning, you both. How are you?
We're
Great,
fabulous,
Bill.
Bill. We're talking about the Nice and Naughty. It's the adult lingerie and novelty shop that's going next to Granville High School. What do you want to say?
Well, you know, the thing of it is, stores are going to go up where stores are going to go up. And when I lived in Ohio, right across the street from a elementary and middle school
Mm-hmm.
was a Hustler store.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
know,
yeah.
And, you know, it was very well ran, very well maintained. You know, the same thing. You had to be 18 or over to even enter. If you weren't 18, then you weren't allowed in the store. And they never had any issues there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, I'm new to the Michigan area pretty much, and I know Grand Rapids is very strict in religious values.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the Hooters restaurant on 28th Street was closed down, because, you know, they didn't want that type of establishment in
Right.
this town.
right.
But, you know, you got to look at it, okay, granted, women wear tank tops and shorts, but, you know, you see just as many women go to Hooters as you do men.
I love Hooters.
I do too. And
They
I
have a
wish
great chicken pasta salad.
I wish they would open up a new restaurant around here called Twin Peaks.
Ooh, that'd be a good
Peaks. That's funny. Twin Peaks.
You should
I
do
mean, it's the fastest growing sports bar around right now.
Oh.
Twin Peaks, and right behind that is another one called Tilted Kilt.
Wait,
Yeah.
these are real places?
Tilted
Twin-
Kilt.
I
They're
thought,
real places.
I thought you were making up Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I've never heard of Twin
No.
Peaks. I've heard of Tilted
You
Kilt.
know, there's actually 3 Twin Peaks, or is it Tilted Kilt? One of them. There's 3 of them getting ready to open up in the Detroit area.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So,
Interesting.
So you're just saying that we need to lighten up here?
Absolutely. I mean, come on, it's life. Live it. Don't regress it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thanks for weighing in. 7708-957, talking about the Naughty or Nice store that's opening up right next door to the Granville High School.
What'd you want to say, Ronnie?
Hey, the parents, they need to lighten up. That's to the number one, to high school. And number one, two, at the retail store. When's the last time any of their kids were in the mall? You can walk down the mall and see, or walking down the street, or on the beach. Anything is worse than what that retail store is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't have the novelties in the at the beach.
Right.
You would have to find those in the store. And I think that's what the people are most concerned about.
Yeah. We looked at when the last time your teenager went into, like you were saying earlier, in dispensers. That's right on. I've been in dispensers and all that stuff, novelty stuff.
Wait.
Everything is right on the shelf.
Ronnie, did you know they have a back room in Spencer's that's naughty?
Oh, yeah.
How did
Yeah.
I not know that?
That's where, remember when we had your bachelorette party?
Yeah.
All of that stuff came from Spencer's.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
It's
know
just, and even the things like on the Monterey pictured on Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
That's showing almost, the only thing it's not showing is the fun parts. I mean,
Right.
everything else is hardly anything for the imagination.
Okay.
So,
Right. So
parents, I
is
think,
is
are
this
just, like,
store
crazy.
open, Connie? Like,
It's opening in the next few months.
okay.
Thanks, Ronnie.
So we see the sign there, and we heard that the sign is up. It's just like a makeshift sign, but they're not open right now.
no, they're not open right now.
So they're opening later. So
Yeah.
it says, here's the future site of this store.
Yes.
So is this a movement enough to block the opening? Is that what they said on the news?
The business license was approved months ago, so
So it's
I don't know.
not.
I
So-
think it's a done deal.
So it's going. It's happening. So you
Yeah.
just got to get over it.
Megan, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, weigh in.
I think the parents of sixth graders would be more upset than the high school parents because during the week, choir and band is done at the high school for sixth graders.
Okay.
So, and they go through that entrance right across where the buses are, so right across from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if a sixth grader sees a store called Naughty or Nice, they're not going to know what that means. Are they?
I don't think so. I am a parent of one of those sixth graders that I drop off there every day.
Okay.
But for me, I don't think it's that big a deal. It's a store. Victoria's Secret sells lingerie displayed right in the window
Right.
in the mall. It's not. I think it's just ridiculous. I think people just need to just get over themselves.
It's funny because maybe it's the demographic of the people that listen to our show. Because again, I mean, we're kind of naughty or nice.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you kind of probably do have to be a little on the lighter side to listen to this show and not
True.
This type of thing won't make you so mad.
That's true.
Maybe
But,
because everybody so far, Megan has said lighten up.
well, and you said it was about 50-50 on Facebook.
It was.
So, I mean, that's the same
And maybe
kind of thing.
it was 60-40 with the angry people, 60.
Okay.
So
and they're angry
maybe.
about what, though? What were you seeing? What were the comments
Kids
saying?
being in high school and seeing that across the street and potentially going in there. That's what
Okay.
they're mad about.
Well, what
Shouldn't
about...
they be in class though?
I think they're talking about after school, when kids are mulling
Right.
around and just kind of hanging out.
What about a convenience store where they can go in and get cigarettes, or they can get a Playboy magazine?
Well, and then McDonald's got brought up.
Oh,
well, when a McDonald's is right next to a school, nobody complains.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
then everybody was throwing it just, yeah.
Okay.
It was an
Right,
interesting
and
read.
then it's right there by the mall too, and they could either go to Spencer's or they could go to Victoria's Secret.
Right.
So
Right.
it's the same type of area.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't
Does
know
Meyer
either.
have anything like
Thanks,
that?
Megan. No.
Like the
I don't
his
think
and
so.
hers warming
I have no
lotion?
idea. I don't know.
Amanda?
I'm sure they do have the his and her warming stuff.
Yeah, Amanda says they
That's
do.
sold
She
everywhere.
Gave a big thumbs up.
Hi, James. Thanks for holding on. What'd you want to say?
I just wanted to weigh in. Matter of fact, first off, kind of curious how you guys doing. I feel rude by not saying that. You guys are good?
Thank
Hi,
you very
James.
much.
We're
You're
fabulous.
good,
Thanks
too.
for asking.
Okay. I love you guys. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you.
No, first thing I just got to weigh in is the fact that, like, I'm in reserve about certain things. But, stuff like that store shouldn't really be a case. I can understand as a parent, why be upset, but I guess I got over the fact because my daughter, she watches stuff like Monster High. Not too long ago, they had brats, and they had these dolls that were wearing basically almost provocative stuff that you could
Right.
see.
Yep.
Matter of fact, my daughter has one of the Monster High dolls, and the skirt is so high, I have to sometimes fight and get the skirt to come back down.
Right.
My daughter in 5th grade was a Monster High girl doll for Halloween, and it was mortifying.
Exactly, and
Was
that's a big thing. Like they got the sexy outfits for like Frozen now, But it's places like that they do it more discreetly. Of course, I was at Spencer's at the Woodland Mall or the Rivertown where you can go to the back area.
Right.
But there's also stuff like, prime example, you can go to Walgreens and you can go right there to the actual intimate aisle, and there's an aisle, and literally they sell vibrators, they sell the Trojan little things all the time. But
Right.
you never really pay attention to it because it says massager. But it's
Right.
actually-
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you got to read between the lines there. We just got an email from Sienna. She says, I'm a mother in Granville, not thrilled by the idea, but now hearing about the store, it doesn't sound that bad. She says she remembers going to video stores with her mom and dad, and
Thanks, James.
there was always the little room there with the sign over it that says adults only, 18 and over. They didn't even have a curtain.
Right.
They just had the room. She's
Right.
like, so if it's like that and they keep people out of it, she's fine with it. But if it's trashy and unprofessional, she doesn't want it.
I saw that some people were saying too that maybe people are feeling like this is just bad timing right now because of that video last week, and I don't want to get into that.
Right.
But if you watch the news, you see,
Okay.
that could be
But the-
swaying people as well.
But the timing, it was months ago, you said, right?
the business license was approved months ago.
So the timing on the
and they're
city's
set to
part-
open. Naughty and Nice in Granville by the high school is set to open by the end of the year.
Well, yeah, because you want to be there for Christmas.
Right.
Hopefully by Black Friday, people can get in there.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What'd you want to say?
Well, I kind of got 2 points.
Okay.
Firstly, I'm the parent of a 13-year-old little boy. Gosh, I can't call him a little boy.
Yeah, young
Anyway.
man.
Yeah, actually, it's his birthday today. It's 13.
Oh,
But anyway,
happy birthday.
the point I wanted to make firstly is that, I spent years in Rivertown Mall going in the main entrance, and Victoria's Secret monopolized the top floor and the bottom floor. Where was the big uproar about having nearly naked women all over the storefronts
Right.
there? Nobody said anything about that. And then, secondly, I feel like it's naive that these parents, I read through the Facebook comments last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like the naivety there that these kids in high school aren't having sex and they're not aware of all this stuff. Like, I would say educate them, make them aware, I feel like it's counterproductive to try to hide it from them. Those kids are having probably more sex than most adults these days. So
Right.
I feel like it's people putting the blinders on and wanting to pretend that, that stuff doesn't happen. I just feel
Well,
like it's ridiculous.
It's funny because I was having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday whose daughter is a junior in college, and she wasn't super sheltered.
Okay.
This friend
Right.
was not a helicopter mom, but her two roommates
Yeah.
did have helicopter moms.
Okay.
And they tried to keep everything away from them. And these girls now have gone crazy in college.
Really? They didn't know what to do.
Crazy in
Oh,
college.
that's so accurate.
Right.
As a parent myself, I'm not going to say throw my kid to the wolves and let him, trace
Right.
around the store, but
Absolutely.
for Pete's sake, I'd like him to be, frankly, I have a daughter as well, and she's 9, and frankly, if my daughter's in high school, and this sounds so horrible, I would rather her buy a toy than have sex with guys in high school. That sounds horrible, but
You just made Curtis smile.
Yeah.
it's a reality.
Oh,
Kids are
man.
having
Thinking that
fun,
should be
why
our
not
next T-shirt.
Tell them to be safe versus be stupid,
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, those are all good points, Amanda. Thank you for calling.
It's
and have
like,
a good day.
did you watch? You were sleeping, but the show Blackish last night.
I did not.
What-
Oh, was last night the premiere?
The second week of it was all about having the talk with his son.
Okay.
And then he said, "Hey, I want an open policy here. I want to know everything." So all the kid did then was tell him about fantasies and dreams he was having and what was going on with his body. And then finally he's like, "We need to stop talking about
can't
this.
take this
We need
anymore."
to stop this right now."
Trisha, what did you want to say? Good morning.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm a Granville parent. Actually, my oldest is going to be
Okay.
in high school next year. But I think I saw the story and I just had to laugh. So I think the more people are making a big deal out of it and raising such a ruckus, these high schoolers are going to want to say, "Oh, that must be something interesting that I
Right.
want
Yes.
to try to get into." Then
Why do people want to keep me
Why
out of
make it
there?
such a big deal?
I better
Yeah.
get in there.
Right.
I
It's
better go
stirring
see.
the pot, kind of,
Right.
And
Just
the,
let it be. It's
the-
going to happen.
the thing with that is you're 100% right. And next March, no one will even think about that
Exactly.
store.
No.
You
And
know?
it's not really the main entrance; it's the student entrance of the high school. It's not like the,
Mm-hmm.
but and it's it's this. I saw it yesterday for the first time. I'm like, oh, it's at the corner, and it's a strip mall that's been there forever. It's
Okay.
a nice strip mall. It's not like it's going to be trashy. I
Right.
don't think. And the pictures that they showed on TV,
Mm-hmm.
it looks classy.
Okay.
Right. Well,
It's not like it's a Red Barn or something.
And unless there is unless there's a Starbucks or a Big B there, the kids aren't even going to go to that strip mall.
Right.
Like
Well, then, like people said too, you go to Victoria's Secrets in the mall, and it's everywhere. I mean, it's
Oh, it's everywhere. There are bins.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And those kids go to the mall. I mean, the mall's right there too. So
Exactly.
It's
True.
Really.
Exactly.
That is true.
Open forever.
It's all right there. I mean, you could find something at Gander Mountain or Dick's that it would, the same thing.
Mhm.
Like,
well,
what
then
are you
you can
looking
go
at?
online too. I mean, hello.
The internet. Internet
So
is a wonderful
true.
thing.
You can't hide
Exactly.
anything anymore.
And as long as you talk to your kids, and I think that's the thing too. Parents are too afraid to have those
Right.
talks like that with their kids.
Yeah, we
Because
don't.
it's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
let's just deny that any of that stuff happens, and
I'm just going to say, don't do this.
yeah.
And then my child's going to listen.
You know what the thing is, too, about this? When you are in high school,
Yeah.
you think that a store like that is so scandalous. And then when
Yeah.
you finally go into one, you're like,
Boring.
boring.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, I
this is-
remember like going, and we do need stores like that. Sorry, like there's no as when I was like in the marrying age, there's no place to go to get stuff for a bachelorette party.
Right.
Right.
You end up going to those sleazy hole in the walls that were kind of scary.
Exactly. So you get a nice one in a strip mall right there by the
Right.
high school. You're set. Win-win.
It's a win-win.
You're welcome,
Trisha,
Granville.
thanks for the phone call. If you want to talk about it, 770-895-7. We can take some more calls next. It's 8:32.
131 overpass. That accident, nobody hurt, and the police cruisers are there trying to get that cleared out of the way. The other accident in Walker Avenue between 3 Mile and 96. Both sides of the road are slow there. The police are also on scene trying to get that moved out of the way as well. If you see anything else out there this morning, please give us a call, 770-895-7.
It's 8:36 now and 59 degrees. Rain and 74 today. More rain, 65 tomorrow. And then Saturday, high is 50.
We were talking yesterday or 2 days ago, I believe, about how if you listen to us, you probably are pretty loose when it comes to what you think and whatnot. But I can't believe, Connie and I were just talking, we talked to some people off the air too during the commercials. We can't believe that there's no one listening who actually has a problem with the store opening up. It was 60-40 on Facebook on the news sites.
Yeah, we're talking about the Nice and Naughty is what it's called. It's an adult lingerie and novelty shop. It's a retail store, and it's opening in the next few months next to Granville High School. And I saw it on the news last night. So, of course, I went to the Facebook page of the news station that I was watching just because I just wanted to see what people were saying. And I would say it was probably 60% parents who thought it was completely inappropriate versus 40. Now, while I was reading through the comments, which
Yeah.
I don't know, I think there were a few hundred at that point, there were hundreds more coming in.
Okay.
So who knows what the final
It's a hot
ended
button.
up at, but yeah.
Hot button issue. Now, just knowing like the makeup of my neighborhood, I can tell you exactly who would have a problem if one was going to open up
Yeah.
at my kid's school and know what they would say. And we don't want that. We don't need it around here. So yeah, having the discussion there for 15 minutes and no one saying, "Oh, I have a problem with it."
Right.
It seems a little skewed,
It
or
does.
maybe.
I mean, if you have a problem with it, you can call us.
Maybe we're enlightened, though. Maybe that's
Maybe
the
our
thing.
listeners are enlightened.
Like maybe we know that it's a store and it's not really going to hurt anyone, right? You know,
Maybe.
Joanna just emailed. She says the reason that it's causing such an uproar, in her opinion, is the community. It's one of the best places to raise a family, and the store like that doesn't match the label.
Okay.
So where it's, we just were on that list last summer that said, hey, this is a place where you want to raise your family. We're on all of the best place to live
Right.
lists. And now if this is going to infiltrate the area, then that is going to be a problem and get us off those lists.
But it's funny because what is the difference? Now, Victoria's Secret does not sell novelty toys.
No. Spencer's does.
Spencer's does, though, but they don't. Do they sell lingerie?
Yes.
Is there lingerie in
Yep.
there? So what is the difference?
There's no difference, except
Okay.
it's in the mall.
It's people's perception.
And the front of it, people are allowed to. When I told Katie, though, that Haley and I were in Spencer's, she was like, oh. And I said,
Okay.
yeah. And I just kept walking right to the back part because that's what you do. You just walk
Right.
through. I walked through the whole thing. And Haley was right with me. And the guy said, oh, she can't go in there. And she's like, oh, well, good. Well, yeah.
You were going to take her?
No, she was just absentmindedly walking with me.
Oh, okay.
But it's all just it's novelty items back there that you would. But when I was a kid, it wasn't 18 or older.
Right.
Like we were allowed everywhere in Spencer's when I was a kid. So when did that stop?
I have no
You
idea.
know?
I didn't even know that back room was there.
I know it's not even a back
Not that
room.
I'm
It's
upset
just the
about
back
it.
area of the store.
Yeah.
Did you know it was there?
I did know it was there.
Amanda.
What do you buy at Spencer's?
I've bought a T-shirt from there.
No, not you. I'm asking Connie because she said she was just in Spencer's the other day.
No, I said it was in there last Halloween.
Okay, so what were you buying?
Yeah. I was looking for a leather bracelet.
Okay, so that all the accessories are right there at the beginning. If you had walked further in the back, you would have found it.
I didn't need to because they were right up front.
Okay, so
and every time I've been in Spencer's, I guess I've never. Well, I've never seen it.
Right, yeah,
Never
so
seen it. Didn't even know it was there.
You don't make it to the
I don't
back.
hang out in Spencer's.
Right, it's not yours.
It's not my kind of store.
It's not your number one store.
No.
It's not your number one
But I was
stop
looking
right there.
for, I think it was either a leather bracelet or something from a Halloween costume.
Okay, and they had
Yeah.
it. Oh, probably the choker that you wore. 'Cause
Yeah.
you were.
No, I had that choker. I think it was the bracelet.
Where'd you get
From
that?
another Halloween costume, Curtis.
I already had the leather spiked choker.
Curtis!
I'm naughty and nice. It's okay.
You're ridiculous.
So next time you go in Spencer's, go in the back. They have posters there. They have
like what kind of posters?
like sexy posters.
Oh, okay.
And they got funny posters. They have
Like just a hot chick in lingerie or something?
well, they have those, and then
Okay.
they have like the how many beers does it take to do things, or like funny little posters they'll
Okay.
have. They have all kinds of like bachelorette stuff. Like literally
Okay.
everything that I got for your bachelorette party
Yep.
came from Spencer's.
Okay.
Every single thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think about going there for that.
Right. And I've grown up in Spencer's, so I knew that's where you got to go.
Okay.
So maybe the best way to avoid getting the store and to stop it is to put a picture of me and say, this person hung out in Spencer's from the age of 14.
And look at him now.
Do you want more
Do you
of
want
this?
everybody to be like Curtis?
If you want more Curtises, keep this store going. And they could shut it down easily, right? Would you rather have
Some
Curtis?
people would want their son to end up like you.
Man, I tell you what. We have a daughter, I think, that's going to end up like me.
Does her name start with a C?
Well, a C or E, one of
Either
them.
one of 'em,
One of
really?
them is on their way. And Katie, sometimes I catch her looking at them like
Crying?
she looks at me.
Does a single tear run down her face?
No, just that anger, like that she's normally reserves for me. I see it with one of them, and they're doing something that I know that I would have done as a kid.
Like what? Like what is something that has been a flag? And I don't want to say a red flag because
Yeah.
this doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're your children.
Right.
They should have some of your qualities.
Just a flag.
But something that has raised a flag like this child may end up being me.
Okay, so homework time.
Yep.
Right? So everybody's doing their homework,
Yep.
and I have the TV on. And Charlotte and Elizabeth, they are not even pretending to do their homework. They are just staring at the TV. And Katie's getting madder and madder at me.
Because you have it on.
But I was there first. So then she says to them, you guys need to go in another room. And they start yelling at me, and then we're all yelling. And Katie is looking at all of us like, you three are the biggest buffoons I've ever seen in my life. I'm out of here.
That's funny.
And she take Haley and go for a walk. Like, we got to go. Just right out of there. But yeah, she definitely sees me in them, and I can see her getting mad that I'm there. All
Can't
the
you
time.
go watch TV someplace else? I was there first.
I
You sound
was there
10.
first. Why would
You
I
sound
leave?
10.
Like I said, the one, like the family room, why would I leave that?
So your kids can do their homework without being
There
distracted.
are other places to do your homework.
There are other places to watch TV.
Go sit
Dad,
in the garage.
you're the adult.
Go sit in the garage.
Oh, my
I'm the
Lord.
adult. I get to choose where I sit.
Wait, Mark has something to say, which I want to see if you agree with. Mark, you
Okay,
think
Mark.
that lingerie is stupid?
Yes, lingerie is dumb.
And why
Hey,
is
Mark,
that?
can you do me a favor and turn your radio all the way down so you can't hear?
I know. I just did.
No, thank you. Okay, so lingerie is dumb.
Yeah. Why? What's the purpose in it?
I think just to dress it up a little bit, little make
Dress
us
it up.
Yeah, make us think, "Oh, yeah, that's hot. That's
It's sexy. You don't think it's sexy?
So is my naked wife. I mean, lingerie is just more clothing that I got to take off.
Right. I don't know. It's just it's like when you got really nice wrapping paper on an awesome present.
Yes, when you pay to have it wrapped at the mall
Yes.
instead of doing it yourself.
And you see the wrapping paper, and you're like, oh, man, I can't wait to see what's inside
With
of
a
that.
great bow.
Because that wrapping paper is so awesome. and then boom. Also, I kind of like it when I'm looking at somebody in the lingerie. We'll say my wife here for sake of argument, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? You look like the girl in the poster.
You like that?
I like the girl in the poster.
Yeah.
You know,
Because the girl in the poster is always hot.
smoking hot.
You're not going to put a unattractive girl
Exactly.
in a poster.
So then
Right.
you got your wife and she's in it, or somebody you find online who looks really good in it, and you're like, yeah, this is what I like.
Does that help, Mark?
So if I wear lingerie, it'll make me look better.
I think so. It's email at ConnieandCurtis.com,
Please take
Mark.
a picture.
You can just send us the pics and we'll let you know.
So if I wear lingerie.
I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to put them on Facebook just to let you know.
What color do you want me to be wearing?
Man, I
Pink,
think
white?
white. Yeah, go virginal for me. I think I'm going to
Okay.
like that.
Oh, my
All
Lord.
right. I will do that just for you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. I like that. That's awesome.
Thanks for being a part of the show, Mark. We appreciate it.
Connie and Curtis.